Welcome to the Disneyland Forever podcast, your source for all things from the happiest place on earth. For more updates, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Disneyland Forever, and you can check out our website, disneylandforever.com. Hey there.
Hi.
It's Jordan.
And Daniel.
And...
Did you forget your name for a second?
No, I forgot the order that we do things. So it's July. We are officially... You know what the saddest thing is for me about the summer solstice in June? Is that it means that the days are now getting shorter, and I don't like that concept.
Yeah, but otherwise, if they kept getting longer, it would be 240 degrees all the time.
You say that like it would be a bad thing.
It would be bad.
I guess that would be.
Well, in Utah, it's fine because it's dry. In Florida, everyone will die.
Yeah, I guess we would never go back to Florida again if that was the case.
No.
Anyway, so a major holiday in the United States is coming up this weekend, and another major holiday in Utah is coming up at the end of the month.
No one knows about that.
Not very many people. There's some people in Nevada that know about it, and Idaho, I think.
Yeah, probably Idaho.
But at any rate, that's what usually July means for us.
Does the United Kingdom celebrate the 4th, or do they have a 4th of July?
They like to go around and tell you about how that was the day they got rid of the colonies. And I'm like, funny, that's not how history says it. But anyway, I also work with a Brit, and we make fun of him every 4th of July. He's funny. So what we are going to be talking about today, we do have some news, and then we had mentioned, actually it's perfect because July is also Disneyland's birthday month, and we had previously mentioned that we're kind of going through and giving some more of that like trivia, fun things to know about the 5 original lands at Disneyland. We've already done Main Street and Adventureland, not in that order, and this week we're going to talk a little bit more about Tomorrowland, which this is only going to be touching on things, and the way I'm going to do it is a way that you can actually like show off to other people. Because you can, while you're standing in line, look like you're kind of a know-it-all and tell them all this sorts of stuff until they ask you to shut up. Actually, no, they'll tell you to shut up.
So after like a minute?
Yep, basically. We do have a new review.
We do. From Cool Vibes 546, or Cool Vibbies, if you will.
It does not say that.
New listener, great podcast, they said. I just started listening. I'm planning my first family vacation to Disneyland. Typically, we head to Orlando, so I need some assistance getting more familiar with Disneyland. These hosts are very funny and knowledgeable. I definitely recommend for anyone who wants to learn about Disneyland or get their Disney fix between visits.
Yay!
I am funny.
You definitely think that.
Yes, I do.
A lot.
Yes, I do. The truth hurts, don't it?
As we've always said before, we're really happy whenever we hear that the information that we're giving you guys is actually helping. So love hearing those sorts of things. I hope that this is the first trip to Disneyland, right?
Yes.
I hope that it turns out to be. I hope you understand why we prefer it.
We still like Disney World.
We do very, very much. We were actually talking about our trip coming up later this year to Orlando. We don't only go in like the fall and winter.
Yeah.
Because it's the only time we don't sweat to death.
Yep.
But we're looking forward to those trips. But we like going to Disneyland a little bit more. But glad that it's helpful. And thank you for leaving a review. So if you want to help us out, because this really does help us in so many ways, you can leave us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify or Audible, and you can also leave us a 5-star review just like that one on Apple Podcasts. That we really, really love reading them. It helps us out a lot. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, shall we get into news?
Sure.
It's not as exciting as last week's, but it's all good stuff to kind of be aware of. First of all, I had forgotten that this had been taken away. Single Rider has returned to Indiana Jones.
I didn't even
think know that they hadn't been doing that.
Well, I didn't know they did do it.
I did know that they had done it.
Where do they go?
Through the exit.
Oh.
So if you're interested in doing Single Rider at Indiana Jones, you go up to one of the cast members at the entrance and you just tell them, I want to do Single Rider. They'll give you a pass. And then that's when you go through the exit. They'll direct you through the exit. And from there, the cast members are really good about directing you where you need to go, because you actually do eventually exit. You, at one point in time, have to join the queue with everyone else, and then they will pull you out of that queue, and then you'll be in a separate Single Rider line at that point. It's very interesting.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to see the safety spiel.
Yes.
So the queue for Indiana Jones is absolutely amazing, but all the things they use queues for now.
It's not functional for today's world of how they do queues.
Yeah, so that's the problem with it.
I still think they could do kind of part of the exit be the lightning lane return, and then just have the whole rest of the line be the standby. But
No, that would not work. Where are all the that would? Do you realize how crowded it would be back there? It's already crowded.
I mean, see, it already is. So
Adding more is going to make it worse. Is what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's not a good idea. I can understand why they're not doing it that way. But anyway, so if you are interested, the single rider option has come to Indiana Jones. I think it'll save you time. Especially depending on what the line looks like outside, it could save you time. So construction has begun visible construction has begun on Avengers Campus, the expansion there. And when I say visible, I mean like you can see it over the walls. That some of the buildings are taking shape. So in case you're wondering, are they working on this even? Yes, they are.
They're doing it in normal Disney fashion, taking forever to do
Slowly.
it. Yep.
Yes. Let's go with this one because this is so small. I don't know why I mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it. They are starting July 7th at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Coca-Cola and Disney and Star Wars specifically are teaming up to have these special edition bottles with like Star Wars characters on them. They'll be sold all over, at least the country. I don't know about the world. I assume the world. And have a whole bunch of them. But there will be 3 designs that are only going to be found at Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland and Walt Disney World. And those 3 designs will feature the Mandalorian and Grogu, a First Order Stormtrooper, and Chewie.
Okay.
So all the other ones, there's 27 other designs that you can find everywhere else, but these 3 designs you can only find at Disney parks.
Are you supposed to collect these, or?
You know, a lot of people are going to.
Yeah, I'm good. They do have the ones already that you can get, like the tiny little bomb-looking thing that's Coke or Sprite that are like $40 for some reason.
Because they know you're going to keep the bottle.
Yeah. You bought one once. I was like,
I did.
Yeah.
Actually, in some ways, it was almost easier to drink that way, too.
Yeah, but it only has like
I know, it has
1
like,
milliliter
yes,
in it.
I know. But like I said, you're buying they know the bottle becomes the souvenir.
know.
That's the whole thing, how they're getting that.
I'm surprised TSA hates them, whatever.
Doesn't like them.
What?
They love them.
They love them so much.
So also, at the Opera House on Main Street, they finally got their new marquee in. Have you seen it?
No.
It's really cool. It's blue. It's the same shape as the old marquee, but the other one was red. This one's blue. And it just says now featuring 2 shows. On the left-hand side, it says Walt Disney in big letters. And on the right-hand side, it says Mr. Lincoln in big letters. And then when you read them, it has the titles of the 2 shows, The Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln and Walt Disney: A Magical Life. It's really, really pretty. And it's just that we're one step closer to them actually opening. And I can tell you, it looks like they are going to open on July 17th because Club 33 sent out a thing like, do you guys want to see it early on July 16th? They are not going to invite Club 33 to anything that could be canceled.
No. And they're not charging $70 billion per person. It's actually free for Club 33 members.
Are we going to be there?
No.
No.
We're going to be in Vegas. Actually driving back from Vegas.
On the 16th?
Yeah.
Ugh. We'll tell you why later. So that is coming. The marquee is up. It looks fantastic. Very excited for that. Also, if you are going to Oogie Boogie Bash, first of all, there are so many dates available.
Not the one we chose. Oopsie. Oh, well.
But remember last week when we told you, like, get off right now and go get the tickets? There are so many dates that are still available.
I know why the 5th of October is sold out. Every one of our listeners is going to meet us.
So
Yeah, the only ones sold out are Halloween.
no, there's a lot. There's about
There's
a third.
maybe, yeah.
A third to a half are sold out, and that's just weird at this point. Normally, in a normal year, this would already have been sold out. If you were seeing Disneyland advertise to you that you should buy Oogie Boogie Bash tickets, that is a bad sign
for
them, because that means that there's still tickets available. And there are still tickets available. Most of the Tuesdays and Thursdays are still available. Not all of them. Guess what? The opening date is
you called it. Every creator and
Halloween was gone fast.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Sunday before Halloween was also gone pretty fast. The first date is gone. But there's still quite a few dates in August, September, and October that are all still available. So if you are thinking about going to Oogie Boogie Bash and you just didn't want to deal with that queue, you're not going to have to deal with it. It's just go and buy your ticket.
Yep.
So, but the reason I brought that up is because starting the day that this drops, July 3rd, if you are going to Oogie Boogie Bash, you can then book your Oogie Boogie Oogie Boogie Bash dessert party. And this is, again...
It is quite the tongue twister.
Yes. So the dessert party, for those who don't remember, this is to watch the Frightfully Fun Parade. There are 2 showings every night. It looks like they are taking a page from the new World of Color dessert party because it's going to be in boxes. It has a nicer charcuterie. Unlike World of Color, they now have
4.
No, yeah, the World of Color has 4 desserts.
Yeah,
but I told you this one has.
Oh, that's right. You said 6.
Has 6, and I'm like they heard people say, why does this dessert party not have many desserts? So it has 6.
I get that people like savory stuff sometimes. And it's okay to have the cheese and the meat. But yeah, it was half cheese meat, half dessert.
Half desserts. And it will have I think it says it's going to have its own pin.
Nice.
Its own collectible pin. And so
Funny enough, it's actually a Valentine's Day pin.
You don't put it past them. So that will be available. They put on there you have to have tickets to go to the event. I don't think that's what's going to prevent you from making the reservations. Yeah. It's just more like, no, making this reservation does not grant you access to Oogie Boogie Bash.
The number of people, there's a non-zero amount of people who ask that probably.
Oh, you know it. And this is also one, remember, if you do decide to get reservations for this, you will have to pay it when you make the reservation. It's all paid up front. Yep. Magic Key discounts do apply.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind.
When you were saying you're going to see advertising of it, it always makes me think when we both go to the same hairstylist, and he uses an Amazon Echo. Is that what it's called? And for some reason, so it's like all normal commercials, and then the Disneyland ones are always in Spanish. It's like, vámonos a the Disneyland Resort and go to Oogie Boogie Bash. Agosto y septiembre y octubre. Ahora, por favor.
5 minutes sentados.
5 minutes sentados.
Por favor, manténgase alejado de las puertas.
That's about the extent of our Spanish. I always ask him, like, why is this called this single commercial in Spanish? Or the rest? He's like, no. Oh, anyway, just made me think of it.
Okay, so there's that. I wouldn't say that you have to, like, if you're going to want to get a reservation for this dessert party, I wouldn't say you have to rush to get it. But you don't want to take like your dear sweet time. If your night is already sold out and you're thinking, I might want to do this,
do it.
Get it earlier than later.
Yeah.
Because they do tend to sell out. I can't say exactly when, but it is before the party date. So if you are thinking about it, you still probably have a little bit of time, except for Halloween. That's going to sell out immediately. And probably also August 17th. But the other ones, they will. You have a little bit of time, but just know that starting the day this episode drops, you can make those reservations if you have tickets for Oogie Boogie Bash. The last thing I want to mention, I don't think you've seen this video, and I just watched it. There's not much to see. So Pirates of the Caribbean. This was like late last week or something. The ride, I think, had broken down, or at least had stopped. And this is in the last scene before you go up the waterfall with those pirates that you always feel like are going to fire at you.
That you were scared of as a
I
child?
was always terrified of them. Anyway, apparently a couple of guests got out of the boat.
Oh.
And went and sat next to those figures and were chatting with each other there. And the video you can see one of them sitting there. And they do say that if you keep watching the video, I didn't keep watching it because I didn't care that much, but a cast member does come and escort them off. And what you can presume is that they are now getting a lifetime ban from the parks.
But at least they had their clothes on this time, right?
That was one of the reasons I watched, because I want to know, is this another one of these?
It was not. Another naked.
It was 2 ladies that were just chilling.
Okay. Just chatting it up with
each other, not with...
Oh, not with the firing pirates.
No, not with him. They were just there, gesturing at him.
Cool. No, it made me think also of the Walt Disney World people that put their cooling towel in the gross water of Living with the Land to put all over their body.
I saw one of the videos of that Living with the Land guy who fell in the water.
Yeah.
He got out of the water, ran alongside it through the sand.
Great.
And then hopped in the boat.
The sand that's
that you're not supposed to walk
touch
on.
because it introduces pests.
Don't worry.
Awesome.
I'm sure that they probably also got
Yes.
at least a talking to by security,
And
because
at
it's not like
least
he jumped into the water on purpose. He fell in.
Oh, okay.
He dropped his phone in
That's
the
right.
water.
I can
And so
remember
when
what
he
it was.
reached down to try and grab it, or maybe it was like it fell somewhere else, but when he reached down to try and grab it, he fell in the water. And then I was like, there's just been a string of these lately
The water
on each
incidents.
coast. And I'm like, what is
What
going
are you doing?
on? Stay in the boat. If your phone drops in the water, I'm sorry, it gone.
Yeah. Especially if it's in water.
By the time they get to it, it's dead.
Yeah.
Like, your phone's not coming back by that point, because they're not going to
You can
shut
try
down
putting
the
it
ride.
in rice. That's how you do it.
I don't think they're going to go through and dredge the water later that night.
No.
Even if you told them I dropped my phone in the water, they're going to be like, okay,
That sucks to be you.
I'm really sorry.
Although if you try to put a wet phone in rice in Florida, it just the rice looks at you like, I'm already saturated.
Yeah, this isn't
this
happening.
This is not going to work.
Right. So that's the news for this week. And the moral of the story is, don't get out of the boat.
Yes.
That's all. Just don't get out of the boat. Okay, so want to talk to you guys about Tomorrowland. So a little bit, stepping through the history of Tomorrowland. And for those of you who may not know this super well, my favorite land, by far,
We
is
all
Tomorrowland.
know this. Everyone on planet Earth knows about this. Vladimir Putin knows about this.
My tattoo that I'm getting worked on my left arm, it's Star Wars and Tomorrowland inspired. And people are always like, is this Tomorrowland or is it Star Wars? I'm like,
Yes, both.
That's why I was so happy at Pride Night. There was one guy who stopped us. Was like, is that tattoo built like Star Wars and Star Tours and Space Mountain? That's so cool. I'm like,
Yes.
Thank you, Disney
got it all.
people, for understanding what I'm doing. Anyway, so I do love it. And if you're going to say, why is this your favorite land, Jordan? That makes no sense. That's not a very good land. I know.
It has his favorite attraction, for one.
It does. I also just love the history that's
The weird,
in Tomorrowland.
quirky, horrible history of it.
It's so quirky. I love what it stands for, and I love its potential.
You love the movie, too.
I also love the movie. Oh,
haven't
my
watched
gosh,
it in
I love
forever.
I know. I can still quote it. Anyway, so those are a lot of the reasons why it's my favorite. Now, do I think it's perfect? Absolutely not. They can make so many changes, and I'd be like, done, let's do this. But I do love it. So, of course, Tomorrowland is an original land. That's why we're doing it. One of the interesting things is when it opened, originally at one point while they were working on Disneyland, they came and told Walt, we don't think that we can get everything done. So we're thinking that we're going to have Tomorrowland be like a phase 2 opening of the park, because we don't think we can get this done in time. And originally he said, okay.
It'll be done tomorrow.
If it was done tomorrow, wouldn't that mean it's done in plenty of time?
Sure.
Anyway,
Tomorrow of the day it was supposed to be done. Whatever.
so that was the original plan, but then they came back and said, no, we're going to open it. And even though it wasn't quite ready, so it was the last land to be worked on.
Was that the one with the pavement that was still wet? And
No, that
sinking?
was everywhere.
Good job, Disney.
That was just everywhere. But this is the one where they didn't even have they didn't have very many specialty plants planted yet when the park finally opened. And so to try and mask that, this is mostly a rumor, could be not true, but what the reports say is that they made little plaques with the Latin names of all the weeds and natural plants that were in the area and put them around as though this is a scientific display.
Look at these amazing things we planted.
Yeah. And no, it did not open with very much. Even its flagship attraction, Rocket to the Moon, did not open with the park on opening day because it wasn't ready yet. And so basically they just had a whole bunch of quote-unquote attractions.
Was that the Clock of the Future or whatever?
The Clock of the World was at the entrance, but then all the other ones had like the Bathroom of Tomorrow and the Aluminum Hall of Fame and the Hall of Chemistry. And these were all just exhibits sponsored by different companies.
Did it just have a bunch of tinfoil in it?
I don't know what was in them, but they were talking about it.
What is wrong with Walt Disney?
Spaceship X1 was there. The only attraction that opened with Tomorrowland that is still there today is the Autopia. And if you wonder sometimes why the heck is the Autopia in Tomorrowland of all places?
Nobody knows.
Actually, we do.
Oh.
Because it was meant to showcase the future of interstate travel because it wasn't
Interstates
widespread
hadn't done
yet.
it, yeah.
It was coming across the country. It hadn't been finished yet. So he was showing the future of transportation with the interstate system. It just proved popular, and they've had it ever since.
It didn't have a track at the beginning, right?
You mean the little thing in the middle?
Yeah.
No. It didn't have anything that kept the cars
From crashing to each other.
So they would crash into each other all the time, and they even had to have like basically police, their own version of the. They did. There's pictures of them where people would run into each other, and they had to come and like break them up.
License and registration, man.
But they would have to clear it out all the time because people would kind of wreck a little bit, or at least block the roadway, and they had to come and move the cars so that they could unblock it.
Oh, so just like an interstate.
Yeah, basically. And so that's one of the reasons why now there's the little cement thing.
That
in the
evidently
middle.
you can derail at some point because that happened 2 weeks ago.
I don't know how that
Don't know
happens,
how that
but, it was longer than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, sometime in the recent past.
Yes. So that was the only original attraction that is still there today. One of the other major attractions that was there when the park first opened, making sure I'm getting it right, originally it was called Circarama. It eventually became known as Circle Vision 360. It's that theater in the round where they showcase a few different films. The Tour of the West was the first one, then America the Beautiful, and then finally Wonders of China, which, if that sounds familiar, it's because that's in Epcot now. But it was the future of cinema was the idea. And they called it Circarama first until they got sued because it sounded like too much like Panorama or no, it was another trademarked name from another studio, and so they changed it to Circle Vision 360.
I was going to say it sounded like Cirque du Soleil.
No. So Circarama, here's what how I'm going to do this. The Circle Vision 360 Theater was there until 1994. So from 1955 to 1994, they had that theater. Then they closed it down in preparation for the new Tomorrowland. And when it reopened, it was just the queue area for the rocket rods. And then when that ride closed, it was vacant for a couple of years, and you know it now as the ride building for Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. And so that's what that building originally was.
The Circle Vision 360 movies make me dizzy.
I'm sorry.
That's what. Thankfully, they have those things you can hold on to. The little.
It was actually a free attraction back then. You didn't have to pay a ticket to get the park ticket, the general admission. But then when you had the individual rides that had individual tickets,
it wasn't
one
an
of those.
e-ticket attraction.
No. So Tomorrowland has had a few major renovations over its time. It had the first major one was in 1959, and that was when it added 3 new attractions, which introduced the e-ticket system. And the 3 new attractions were the Submarine Voyage, the Disneyland Monorail, and the Matterhorn bobsleds. Yes, the Matterhorn was originally part of Tomorrowland.
Because that makes sense.
I don't understand that at all, but it was considered part of Tomorrowland.
Did Walt Disney like fun, or did he just want you to be bored all the time?
Why?
Let's do a Jungle Cruise thing where you just learn about boring animals.
How does that match with Matterhorn?
No, I'm just saying, okay, the Matterhorn, that is fun. No, like Tomorrowland, you're going to learn about a house and aluminum foil.
Anyway, they were doing with what they could. So that was in 1959 that all that opened. And then the next major renovation was and it was supposed to, in 1955 through 1966, Tomorrowland was supposed to demonstrate the futuristic date of 1986, by the way. So far in the future.
Why?
I don't know. But that was the idea. It was supposed to be 1986. Then in 1967, that was the next major renovation that brought about mostly, the biggest thing was the Journey Through Inner Space. That's not the right name of it. Adventure Through Inner Space. There we go. And the People Mover and the Carousel of Progress. Those were the 3 biggest additions to Tomorrowland in 1967, other than just like completely changing the way that the land looked. They had a completely different look and feel to it in 1967. The next major renovation came in 1998. That was when they tried to make it look like Disneyland Paris's version of Tomorrowland, which is Discoveryland, but they gave it absolutely no budget.
And it was
so basically they just painted everything brown.
So
and
ugly.
green.
So ugly.
It was bad. So bad that it only lasted until 2005, and they repainted everything. And that's basically what we have today, is what they did in 2005. In 1998, the biggest changes were that they closed down the People Mover and Circle Vision 360 and the Carousel Theater permanently, and got rid of Mission to Mars, and then just put in the rocket rods, and that was about it.
And when did your favorite
controversial.
attraction open?
We're going to get there. So that's just things that you have to understand that they're interesting. Also, something that you see now at the front of Tomorrowland is the Astro Orbiter. It is a carbon copy of what's called the Orbitron at Disneyland Paris. It was the only thing that they actually did in 1998 that was
Looks good. Yeah.
And it's because they didn't design it brand new. But they've had a spinning rocket attraction basically since the park opened. So now it's the Astro Orbiter in the front of the park. Before then, it was the rocket jets, which were on top of the People Mover loading platform. So what's called Rocket Tower Plaza. That was where it was. So like think of where it's at in Tomorrowland and the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's where it was at in Disneyland.
And now there's some
And it was called the
weird
Rocket Jets.
sculpture that does nothing.
That sculpture that you see up there, it used to actually do stuff it doesn't do anymore. It's actually just the skeleton of the old rocket jets.
Cool.
That's all it is. They turned it into something else, but then they stopped using it after about 2001, which is unfortunate. And before then, it was in a different part of Tomorrowland, and it was on the ground, and it was called the Astro Jets. And that was from about 1955, 1956 until 1967. So that one I just find it interesting that they've always had something like that. They just moved it and then changed its name. Also, in where Star Tours is now, Star Tours didn't come into that building until 89. Yeah, because it opened just shortly before.
Was that the boring
Disney World
molecules
version.
and the
Before then, it was the Adventure through Inner Space.
space? That's what it was.
So that's the one. It was a huge deal because that was the first one to use the Omnimover system, which is what the Haunted Mansion uses. And the whole thing is that you were shrunken down by a big, huge microscope, and you went into a snowflake and you saw water molecules up close. So it was really kind of cool, very scientific.
Where were the boring molecules at?
The boring molecules.
The, magicals with molecules, were that thing?
Miracles from Molecules.
Yeah, that thing.
That was played at the exit.
Oh, so it's that
song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Miracles from Molecules, the song.
I thought it was the name of an attraction.
Nope.
So I was very wrong.
It is attached to this one, but it was the music at the exit.
Gotcha.
So the queue for Star Tours in that first big building, or the first big room, when you walk in, you see the Star Speeder. It's shaped the way that it is because that's where the big mighty microscope was. They actually have not changed the shape of the queue in that part of the ride ever. The reason that it's shaped the way it is in like every iteration of that ride around the world is because of Adventures Through Inner Space. They just found that shape to be very iconic, and they decided to keep it.
Sure.
There was no reason to copy it anywhere else, but they did. So there you go. There you go. And before then, it wasn't any major attraction. It was just more of those like halls of things, like nothing particularly exciting. There also, let's see here, what else is interesting to know about? So before we get to Space Mountain, because it's so incredibly important, there's a building back there.
It really isn't.
That is known by Disneyland aficionados as the Carousel Theater. You would know it today as being labeled as Star Wars Launch Bay
Which you
or the
can't go
Starview
into.
Station.
Yeah.
That building was originally built in 1967 to house the Carousel of Progress. Yes,
After it was in the World's Fair of 1966.
Where was it?
Queens, New York City.
Yes. It's the same Carousel of Progress that is now in Walt Disney World, although it's been changed several times. But it moved from New York to California first. And it was there until the early 70s. Because the whole idea is that the theater seats move around the stationary center point. Then in the early 70s, they moved it to the Magic Kingdom, and they replaced Carousel of Progress in Disneyland with a show called America Sings. That was just in time for America's bicentennial.
Which for some reason everyone was obsessed about.
I wouldn't say they were obsessed about it. It was just a musical journey.
Just a lot of Disney stuff was like, America!
Well, oh yes, that they leaned heavily into the bicentennial.
Like the water show at Disney World, still the same from that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was America Sings. It was very interesting. It was a cool show. I've seen it on YouTube. That lasted for I think until the early 90s, until the late 80s, excuse me, because famously they took those animatronics and used them when they created Splash Mountain. Unfortunately, they are not around anymore.
And Star Tours,
except for
the geese, right?
The two droids that work in the queue of Star Tours.
That's why they have tails.
They have tails because they used to be geese from America Sings. Yep. But then that building in 1998 was used for the Disneyland version of Innoventions, and when that closed, it became Marvel Superhero HQ, and they just stopped the building rotating like forever. Now, even though it's supposed to rotate, it doesn't, and now it became Star Wars Launch Bay. Now it's
Absolutely
just like
nothing.
It doesn't get used for a lot.
It's Disney Vacation Club, and if you want to meet Darth Vader, if you have a Disney Chase visa, or if you're a kid doing their
Imagination Campus,
that is all. Otherwise,
Yep.
you can't go in. I don't understand.
And for those who don't understand Disney history, I guess we can also mention the People Mover track. The People Mover was a transportation system invented by Walt Disney at the New York World's Fair. And they brought it in 1967. They put it through all the buildings in Tomorrowland and all out around the Autopia and the Submarine Lagoon.
And they could have left it alone, but they didn't. They've wanted to make a really thrilling supposed attraction that was open for 12 minutes.
It was open for 3 years. Actually, 2.5.
Yeah, I never got to ride it.
I rode it once. It was the Rocket Rods. They wanted a more thrill-style attraction. The problem was they couldn't get any company to sponsor the rides. They could bank the turns, and so the constant speeding up and slowing down of these ride vehicles
Ruined the track.
wore down the ride vehicles and kind of put way too much strain on the track. So now reports say that it's kind of beyond repair and there's nothing they can really do with it. So that's why they're not really putting any rides on it. But if you're like, what is the purpose of this? Why is this here? Kind of just a piece of Disney history that no one wants to see go away.
Yeah. They do evidently put wireless routers along it. I read that when I was trying to figure out why.
At least they're making use of it in some
Yeah.
way. And it's also good shade.
Yeah.
I have to just say it. It's just good shade.
I still don't know why they couldn't do a People Mover at all again. Because that wouldn't put strain on it. But
They'd
maybe
have
it's
to
just-
they'd have to retrofit the whole track.
Yeah.
I think it would be more expensive to retrofit everything than to just tear it down and build it new.
But the problem is, it is intertwined in multiple buildings. The track is everywhere. It's right by the monorail track. It's everywhere.
Speaking of the monorail, a couple things. So when the monorail opened in 1959, it was the Mark I monorail. Do you know what Mark number currently operates at Disneyland?
7.
The Mark 7. Yay!
And funny enough, the Disney World one is older, right?
The Mark
5?
5, I think it
Yeah.
is. It could be the Mark
so.
6. I'd have to look it
5.
up again. I think it's either 4 or 5. It's pretty old, actually. But yeah, so that's been operating. It was the first daily operating monorail in the Western Hemisphere. It was the only attraction that Disney owned personally for a time because he wanted it built so bad. And then also, one other thing I have to mention. So I mentioned that Rocket to the Moon, that very first attraction they opened at Tomorrowland. Of course, it was very period because they were working on getting to the moon. But then
No, they didn't go to the moon.
once astronauts actually got to the moon, it was no longer relevant to go to the moon. So they changed it in the 70s to Mission to Mars. So it was the same basic ride, but you were going to go to Mars instead of to the moon. And in case you're wondering what sort of ride this was, there's a screen in the floor, there's a screen in the ceiling, and there wasn't any motion anywhere else. Anyway, and then that stayed there until the mid-90s when they replaced it with, do you know what they replaced it with?
Buzz Lightyear.
No.
Some other attraction, Space Mountain.
No. Red Rocket's Pizza Port,
Oh,
which is now Alien Pizza Planet.
that's right.
So when you go in there, like, this is a big open space for a restaurant. Yeah, it used to be a ride.
Well, and now, so even still since COVID, you can't go in and like do much in there. You have to still get the food from people.
Yeah, it's weird.
So it's a buffet, but not a buffet.
Then in 1977, the most important thing happened that could have ever happened at Disneyland.
Something about Nixon and the Iran-Contra scandal?
No.
I don't know.
First of all, Nixon was at Disney World. Secondly, so Space Mountain opened at Disneyland in 1977.
It's dumb. Don't go on it.
That one, it opened along with, it was actually called the Space Stage, and they eventually enclosed that and turned it into the Magic Eye Theater with Captain EO eventually. So
Bring back Captain EO.
And that is why it is not a helicopter pad on top of the
it is
Space Mountain
not.
queue, because it's just to close in the theater below it. That's all. It doesn't. I don't think it could withstand the weight of a helicopter.
It would probably collapse.
And
Bring back Captain EO.
Space Mountain was the first coaster in the United States, the first Disney coaster to have synchronized onboard audio with it. However, it was that surf style song that you thought was weird. I love
trippy.
it.
I do not.
And then in 2005, they replaced the entire track inside with made everything darker inside Space Mountain than it ever had been before. And they replaced the music. Do you know who wrote the soundtrack that
Michael
we hear now?
Giacchino.
Who also wrote?
Lots of Disney things.
Like?
Everything. Everything that John Williams didn't do. I don't remember.
Up, The Incredibles.
Yeah, that's right. Incredibles.
Rogue One. He did the music for Rogue One. He also directed Werewolf by Night, but that's another story. And Space Mountain for a time, in 1998 to about like 2000, it was painted like green
Horrible,
and bronze
horrible
and
color.
not white.
Nope.
It was not white. It was weird. I did not like it. I was happy when they painted it white again. I think those are all the main things. I could go on and on and on because I didn't even touch on the Bathroom of Tomorrow. I didn't touch on the House of the Future.
Because those are all dumb. Like,
House
what
of the
in
Future was
world?
not dumb.
Sure.
I didn't talk at all about the submarine voyage, even though that actually has a very long and storied history. Didn't talk about the railroad there and the primeval world, which is after Tomorrowland, so I kind of count it in my head, even though it really isn't.
It's technically not. It's its own land.
Tomorrowland just has so much history, and like, guys, this is just me going off the top of my head, naming things. Space Station X1 was a thing. I can't remember all of them. There were so many different things in Tomorrowland over the years. The Mary Blair murals I didn't even get a chance to talk about.
How about the fact that, was it Chapek or Iger? Someone said that they're going to do a new Tomorrowland, and then it's never going to happen. So
We're at this point, all of us Disney fans are expecting a new Tomorrowland some point in like 2073.
probably 32,
We don't know.
73.
Does it need a new update? Absolutely.
Mostly, but the whole problem is the People Mover track is everywhere, and
I don't think they need to get rid of it at this point.
I don't know.
I don't think they should. It's kind of this iconic architecture. I don't think
Yeah.
they should get rid of it.
I guess.
But at any rate, so these are all things that you can just kind of pull out of your back pocket when you're at Disneyland and show people how smart you are. Or just kind of have a better appreciation for things that you're seeing around Tomorrowland and understand, like, this is why Jordan likes this place.
Even though it's bizarre.
It's kind of weird and doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. Like, I know, but it's cool and it has a lot of history behind it. So, at any rate. Oh, and I didn't talk at all about Galactic Grill or the Tomorrowland Terrace stage. That has a whole thing in and of it, too.
Or the...
Guys, I can go on and on and on.
The arcade place.
The Starcade.
Starcade.
Okay, but we have to end. So, I can't remember any more of my grievances on the street.
Make sure you book your trip through People. The Getaway today. Use the link in the description. They'll save you a lot of money. There's a lot of good deals going on and stuff like that. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook to keep track of us. And make sure we're not doing weird things. And also subscribe to the podcast so they get new episodes as they pop.
As they pop. Pop. All right.
Pop goes the podcast.
Anyway, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.